Okay, just so everybody's aware, there's nothing I'm about to say in this review that does this episode justice. Every word of this review is pretty much void because there's nothing I can say or do or show you how much I loved this episode.
Who's scruffy looking?
Every week on this channel, I have said, wow, this episode was much better than the last one. If I was saying that about this episode, the finale of The Mandalorian, that would mean that the amount of good or better it was in the last episode is quantifiable. This episode, without a doubt, is far and above any other episode this season or last season. I feel like I can't even watch season 1 right now because this episode has set the bar so incredibly high. There's no way this show beats that episode. And I hope I eat my words, but I'm stunned. I'm stunned at the quality of not this season, not these episodes, but the entire arc and especially this final episode. Chapter 16, The Rescue, is absolutely everything that makes The Mandalorian great. It has action scenes, it has drama, it has tense scenes. You feel anxious, you're happy, you're crying, you feel everything and sometimes everything at once. I was on the edge of my seat this entire episode. I am very comfortable even saying that the only other time I had the level of emotions running through my body watching Star Wars related content at the level they were when I watched Chapter 16 was in the movie theater. The only time I've felt that level of emotion or anxiety or happiness or sadness or whatever it was I was feeling was in the movie theater. And that's saying something. The fact that we have got Star Wars content that is as good, if not better, than some of the movies on streaming services is so indicative of where Star Wars is at as a franchise. This episode of The Mandalorian is going to make me sleep so soundly at night knowing that Star Wars is so healthy and so vibrant right now that I feel like it could go on for another 40, 50, 60, 100 years. I feel like Chapter 16 and a lot of the episodes in Season 2 were pieces of Star Wars content that really brought the whole fandom together. I think that's the most magical part about this season and about this episode in particular. We never see the divisiveness that we saw when the movies came out. The Mandalorian has almost been a palate cleanser. So many people love this show. And not just Star Wars fans, which is beautiful. This show is watched by so many people in the United States and worldwide, and that's beautiful. I mean, that's fantastic. To think that somebody's first Star Wars experience was this show is beautiful because this show is so good and it's so accurate to how the movies feel. I'm so happy for everybody that has seen this show, even if it's just this season, and has gotten into Star Wars because of it. Let's talk about some spoilers. So if you haven't seen the episode yet, go watch it right now and then come back to this review because we're going to talk about spoilers. I'll eat my words and admit when I was wrong. I thought that we would never see Luke Skywalker in this show. It's almost weird to hear me say that. I never thought we'd see Luke Skywalker in this show. I wrote it off. There was no way it was going to happen, and it happened. And that is just fantastic. I love being wrong. I love being wrong about this. It was beautiful. I understand the gripe if you really hate fan service. Was this a little fan servicey? Sure, but he wasn't in there for nothing. This felt like a very plausible ending to how this story could have gone. I think we all knew in the back of our heads that Grogu was going to have to be taken by the Jedi. And there again, like Ahsoka said, there aren't many Jedi left, and the one we saw this week is one of very, very few, if not the only one left in the entire galaxy. I also feel like everybody had solid performances this week. Moff Gideon was fantastic. Din, again with his helmet off, fantastic. Even Cara Dune was fantastic in this episode. Her action sequences were amazing. Fennec Shan was spectacular. While they were walking through the ship and they were blasting guys back and forth, that was so fun to watch. Din's action sequence with the Dark Trooper was terrifying and awesome. His battle with Moff Gideon was fantastic. I loved it. The sound design was spectacular. And of course, the tense moments at the end of the episode when they're all huddled on the bridge and Luke shows up in the X-Wing. Man, it was just everything a Star Wars fan could ever want out of 42 minutes of television. I guess if there's anything left to be said about The Mandalorian, it's that if you haven't seen this show yet, if you haven't bothered to watch this show yet, boy, you are missing out.